Hi, my name is Tamar and welcome to my 48-hour Book-Up-a-thon vlog. It is now 20 before 11 in the morning and I actually haven't started reading anything. So for my first two prompts gods and under 300 pages I'm reading Joe, which is a non-fiction book about LGBTQ plus youth who are Christian as well, and I did an interview for this book. And so far, before starting the readathon, I'm almost 100 pages in, and there's so much to discuss and to unpack about this book because I think there are some problematic things in it, and I'm really sad about it because, of course, I did an interview for this. So, but like I've tabbed, not on the but on the inside with like some questions. Especially on the part with like, for like this, I have tabbed everything up that I still want to ask questions about. To I think one of the writers, I'll just ask the person I've talked to, if I can send her the questions that I still have, like why they made certain choices, because I don't want to recommend something. I'm sure things were not done with harmful intent, but there are still some things that ick me a little bit about it. But I think the formatting is great. It's easy to read. I just have been in a massive reading slump, so finishing this, which is still like 150 pages less, is going to be a challenge. But I'm finally starting reading. I did some other bits and bobs this morning, and now I'm actually going to watch the reading sprints and actually read for a little bit with my cup of coffee. So further today, one of my friends is coming over, so I hope I can finish it before they visit me, which is like at the New World Drop or just after the New World Drop. And I'm going to be super busy with like reading. I have some other books that I already started that I really want to get in here, and otherwise we're just going to try my best. I'm going to try to read 4 books, and I have only read 1 book this month so far, and that was rereading Heartstopper Volume 1, so we'll see how it goes, but you'll see it.
Hi. I'm Tamar's friend. Yeah.
Are you?
I am. I hope. I think.
Yeah.
I think I am. Okay, good.
What are we doing?
Well, we're trying to plan their birthday, and we are planning it, but we're also just talking about Heartstopper and stuff.
True.
So I don't know if it's that productive, but we're getting some things
Yay!
done. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I've read more than them today.
Generally this month.
Yeah, which is weird because I think in my whole life I've read about 10 books. No, that's inaccurate, but still, you get the idea.
Yeah, well, so I have read like 40 books this year, but that's mostly webtoons.
Well, okay, if we count webtoons, then I have also read more than that. Well, yeah, I have read some webtoons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hi. There's a quick update for me. It's now the afternoon. I had a really lovely it's now the evening. I had a really lovely afternoon with my friend. We planned almost everything for my birthday, and we made like the invitations and stuff, and it was super fun to be hanging with them. I didn't read a lot actually. I'm currently on page 130, so I still have lots to go. And because of the next road trip already happened, I chose a new book. The prompts were color in the title and under 3 ebook or audiobook. So I picked a new one. Where did I leave my on my iPad actually, because I really because that's the way I read my ebooks and audiobooks. So I chose a Dutch young adult book because it's only like 200 pages or something. So I thought it would be easy to read that one. And it's called De Geur van Groen by Pamela Sharon. I have no clue, but it was in my library, in my list that I was interested in. And the only other one I had was Red Rising, which I don't think I can do like in this timely manner. So I'm going to try to read a bit more of this and switch between these two and hopefully finish them both tonight. That would be awesome, but I also have some other things to do. I still have to go on another walk. I went on a short one before dinner, but I still need to read and to walk at least like 3,000 steps, I think, more for today. So busy, a lot to do. And so far the part I read, which was about sexuality and the Bible, was super interesting. And the next part is about gender in the Bible, which I think will also be interesting. And I really like that because I'm going to study theology. I think it's a super insightful part. And I actually had no complaints about it, which was great. To have no complaints about a part for once, because on the other parts I had, of course, many complaints. So I think this is actually a really great thing, and I'm really happy, and I will happily be continuing reading. Just catching up. It's now 9:30, and I'm actually having a pretty sore throat, as you can probably hear. Oh, it's worse than I thought. Yeah, my throat started aching a bit, and my parents already both are like kind of having a cold, but it's not like COVID, so more like general virus or something. So, but I will still test tomorrow. But I'm kind of losing my voice, which is not the greatest because it hurts actually when I talk. But we're going to make the best of this update. I actually started reading. I continued reading Job for the first. I'm on page 150 now. It was a very interesting part to read, and I don't have much to say on it. And on the other part, I'm 15% through De Geur van Groen by Pamela Sharon, which is actually about the main character is blind, and she's like 16 or 17 years old, and her best friend is like a pair of eyes for her, but they kind of like her having, it's not going too well between them, and I think it's going to fall out, but I have no clue. But they skip classes a lot, so her mother is very overprotective and gets mad at her, and it's very interesting to read, but I think the friendship is super toxic at this moment, so I'm super interested to see how that goes along. It's a bit generic, but at least it's interesting with like a blind main character, and I really like how she encapsulates and sees things, so the way she describes things with color, as like how her friend told her some things should be like. So I think because de geur van groen means the smell of green, I think it's going to encapsulate a lot of those essences, which I really like because I like to do those things as well. I mean, like with color, like the blue, the color of your eyes, the color of the sky, and like all the memories you can like attach to a color or a smell. I think that's super great, and I'm super interested to see how that tags along. But now I'm going to stop talking because my voice hurts a lot. Good morning. It's now 10:30, and this morning I actually finished the book. Whoa, go me! I finished De Geur van Groen by Pamela Sharon. Yesterday I read like till 60%, so I finished it this morning, and I gave it like 3 stars. The book heavily focuses on the fact that the main character is blind. The author isn't blind or has bad eyesight in any way, I think. So it's not on voices, but she did a lot of research on it, and I really liked the descriptions of like seeing things as colors and smells, and how you associate things. I think that was the thing I liked most about it. The book did make me cry because it's heavily focused on grief, which I didn't expect, but it was super insightful to read about. I still think it's like a 3 stars. The writing style wasn't that great, and I think it reminds me kind of how I used to write, but then better. It's very realistic for the audience, and it's very easy to read. So even though like the complexity is just very low, and the turns and twists and turns that it took were very predictable for me, I still think it's great for the targeted audience. Well, okay, I'm kind of the targeted audience. It's like 15 and older, and I think the main character is 17 during the book, most of the book. And so I think it's great for people to read at that age. I just think I might not be the target audience because I read a lot, and I actually, because I studied teaching Dutch for 2 years, I have studied literature for some parts, and that makes your view on young adult books like this a bit different. And because it didn't surprise me, I don't think it really did anything special for me, but I think it's very important that we have books with diversity, because we also have a POC side character. I mean, it doesn't go into detail about a lot of things anyway, because the book is very short. It's like 200 pages, and that's it. So for the length of the book, it tackles some important issues, and it's I don't think with how short this book is, it could have gotten a much higher rating for me, only if it would have been more focused on like one thing, or explored one thing more, instead of trying to do all these things together. I think that's kind of my issue as always, but I think it's a very realistic view of what people might go through when going to school and experiencing grief. So I think there are a lot of realistic points in it. It's just that there are also a lot of different things going on. But I still think it's alright. I still have to put it through Carpile, but I'll let you know when I've done that. And for my other read, Joe, I'm still at page 150, and I hope to finish it this morning, or later this in the afternoon at least. For the third book, I still have to go to the library actually, because I don't have any spooky YA books, and I couldn't really find anything interesting on my library app, because I don't really read spooky books, but a spooky vibe could be great as well. And since my parents are not home this afternoon, I thought it would be great to spend some time at the library anyway. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this before having lunch and going to the library. And I'll take you along on it. I've been watching some sprints, of course, so that's great. And always, but I'm actually in the library, and I just finished this book. the Torrents on my roots for the YA prompt and the like spooky because it just gave me ominous vibes. It's a graphic novel by Paul Verrept and it was very weird and really interesting and insightful. And I still need to process it. I think it's gonna be like a 4-star. I really enjoyed reading this and I really needed to get a short read in so I can continue with my first book, Joe. So I'm going to do that now. Hopping back in. I'm currently home again, and for the fourth prompt we had water and what was it? Oh yeah, a feed scroll. So I scrolled through my feed and decided to pick the first one with water or like watercolors or something like that. And actually the first one I have read, but I really want to reread this month for my book club that I'm not even attending this next month. But they have a meeting at the 2nd of June and they'll be reading Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And I was so lucky to scroll past this on my Goodreads feed. Because I wanted to reread this month anyway, but it does mean it's a bit of a chunker, and I just started, so I'm like at page 10, but I'll be reading this, and Percy Jackson is about Percy who discovers that he's a demigod, and he gets in all sorts of trouble, and it's such a fun series, and I'm currently actually I have finished the Demigod Files last month, so the next one is The Last Olympian for me, and then I can move on to the other books in Rick Riordan's multiverse, I think. And it's super fun to read these books, and they're super quick, so I think I can get through this tonight. And then on my other book, that's still in my bag from the library. Because I took it there, I of course read a book there that I still have to put everything to Kappa, and I'll tell you the Kappa ratings at the end of the vlog, I think. But on this one, I'm currently on page 190, so I still have 50 pages left, but I tried to switch it out a bit because actually reading that much nonfiction in a short time, especially on a topic like this, is proven a bit more difficult than I thought it would be. The next part is about being yourself, which I think will be a bit easier. And I think after that, actually, my interview is in here, so that's going to be fun and easy to read. And then a bit about more information, multimedia, and I think that's really easy to read through. I have sent a quick message to the person who interviewed me to ask who I can ask more questions to, and even though I might not be able to fully review it here, I will discuss it more in depth in my wrap up if I get a reaction. So I'm going to continue watching the Giro d'Italia. We still have 15 kilometers left whilst reading some of Percy Jackson. It's actually the next day, and I planned on finishing my books yesterday, but I actually pretty much failed with that. And since I'm going away today, I'm going to take classes at like my next. Okay, well, I'm going to do another study, and for that I need to make a choice between two schools, and I'm going to take classes today at one of the schools, but that one is like further away up north in the country. So that means that I need to travel by train for like 3 hours today, 3 to 4 hours, because I'm actually going to sleep at a friend's house. But that means that I can take my books with me, because I have only 60 pages left in this one. I really want to finish it, 50 to 60 pages. And in Percy Jackson, I'm actually at page 130, which means I still have 200 pages left. And I'll probably update again then tomorrow, but I'm probably going to read most of it today. So I'm still going to wrap up with what I think of it. I will just not be vlogging as much. So I'm currently packing my bag so I can leave with the train that goes at 10. Because yeah, it's going to be a long day, because the classes are from 1:30 till 8:30 in the evening, and oh, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. Especially since I have to travel to it as well. It's gonna be rough, but
Boksel en Treurne zat ik nog in een 58 vanaf spoor in Ween. We splitten naar Os en Nijmegen. Ik nog 11 uur 2 vanaf spoor 1. En als laatste heb ik de sprinter naar Tilburg en Breda van 11 uur 3. Die zat te blikken vanaf spoor 7.
hi. I'm here to wrap up the vlog, finally. So yesterday, only 26, actually. Ooh, I finally finished reading Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief. I both read these and finished them. I really just only had 20 pages of this one and 20 pages of this one left on that day. But I finally finished it, and I put everything to Kappa, so to tell you about it. De Geur van Groen by Pamela Sharon got 3-star at a 6.57. Yeah, it was alright. It scored the lowest on a few different things like enjoyment, intrigue, plot, and atmosphere. Then De Torens van Beirut by Paul Verript, the graphic novel I read, I gave 4 stars at a 7.75, which scored pretty great overall, the best on the atmosphere, because it was very atmospheric and very well written in that way. Well written. The graphic novel did very well at capturing an atmosphere. Then Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief just got a 4-star at an 8.0. The first one I always gave a 4 stars, so that's just normal for me. The other ones are all 5 stars, except for the Demigod Files, which is also a 4-star because it's just so short. And then Joe, which of course I have to tell you, I loved my reread of this. It's such a comfort read when reading this book, and I love being back with the characters, and this book will never be the same as the first time I read it, because of a big thing that happens at the end of the book, and the way I look at characters is so different every time that I reread it. And if you look at the first book, because I actually really hate a character I really used to love when I first read it, and I just think it's such an interesting book. And I actually, if there was one book I would have been able to read for the first time again, it would probably be this book, because I will never have the same emotions towards this character when rereading, and I really liked it, and I highly recommend it. And then with Joe, I still haven't gotten any reaction on the message I put out, so I haven't rated it yet, because there are still a lot of things I want answers on, because I don't want to recommend something which has some loose ends. I really liked some parts of it. I think if you skip out the part about gender, about identities in general, this part, great. This part, not so great. There are just many terms used, especially in when explaining things that I think are wrong and outdated. But the personal stories are very great, and I just want some answers on why they chose these terms, and I haven't gotten it yet, so I cannot give a rating yet, because I don't have the full story, and I really need it, especially since I worked I did an interview for this, so I will leave you hanging on that one, sadly. But yeah, I didn't read the books in the time I wanted to, but it did get me kind of like out of this reading slump because I read quite a lot. And yeah, I hope you liked watching this video. If you leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more for my face. My socials are also down below, and also my Amazon wishlist as usual. And until next time, bye bye.